Welcome back to Max with RP. In the earlier video, we had introduced the concept of continuous functions. We also saw examples of continuous functions and also functions which were not continuous at certain indicated points. Now, we are going to see some more problems, solve some more problems based on continuity. Recall that a continuous function is a one whose graph can be drawn without lifting your hand. And by definition, limit extends to a f of x equal to f of a, where f of a exists and the limit exists and they are both equal, defines what is a continuous function. Now look at this problem. Find k if f of x is continuous at x equal to 0. You are given the definition of f of x. F of x is given as root of 1 plus kx minus root of 1 minus kx by x, when minus 1 less than x less than 0. It is given as 2x plus 1 by x minus 1 if 0 less than or equal to x less than 1. Now the function is given to be continuous at x equal to 0 and you are asked to find the value of k. So the left hand limit is equal to right hand limit. Now for left hand limit, I can't directly substitute x as 0 because it will be indeterminate. So I have multiplied and divided by the conjugate. That is root of 1 plus kx plus root of 1 minus kx divided by root of 1 plus kx plus root of 1 minus kx. Now what will happen to the numerator? This will become equal to, this is the form a minus b into a plus b, so a square minus b square. So 1 plus kx plus 1 minus kx divided by x into root of 1 plus kx plus root of 1 minus kx, where the limit extends to 0. Now this will become limit extends to 0 minus, actually it is 1 plus kx minus 1, it is minus 1 plus kx. A square minus b square, so 1 plus kx minus 1 plus kx. This will become 2kx by x into root of 1 plus root of 1, which is 2. Which gives the value of k. So your left hand limit is k. Now let us see what happens to the right hand limit, that is limit extends to 0 plus of f of x. This will be limit extends to 0 plus of 2k plus 1 by x minus 1. When I put x equal to 0, what will I get? I will get minus 1. Because numerator is 1, denominator is minus 1. Therefore, k equal to minus 1. If f is continuous at x equal to 0, the value of k must be equal to minus 1. Is it clear? Since the function is continuous, we have equated the left hand limit with the right hand limit and solved for k. The function is continuous at x equal to 0 is what is given and we have to determine the value of k. Now let us look at the second problem. Find a if f is continuous. Okay. So again you can see the function is defined around 0. So let us look at left hand limit. Limit x tends to 0 minus of f of x will be limit x tends to 0 minus of 1 minus cos 4x by x square, which is equal to limit x tends to 0 minus of 2 sine square 2x by x square. You know that limit theta tends to 0, sine theta by theta equal to 1. Property of limits you're already familiar with. So this will be limit x tends to 0 minus of 2 into sine square 2x is sine 2x into sine 2x. So I split the x here, but I need 2 into 2. Again, this also I am multiplying and dividing by 2. So that now this becomes, by limit, virtue of property of limits, 1. So what are you left with? 8. 2 into 2, 8. 2 into 2, I have divided by 4, I have multiplied by 4. So I get 8. Now what will be limit x tends to 0 plus of f of x? It will be root x by root of 16 plus root. It is given to be continuous, but still we need to verify whether the left hand limit is equal to right hand limit. Then we can always say that claim that a is 8. Root x by root of 16 plus root x minus 4 into 16 plus root x plus 4 by root of 16 plus root x plus 4. So this is equal to limit x tends to 0 plus, what will happen to the denominator? This is root x, root of 16 plus root x plus 4. What will happen to the denominator? 16 plus x minus 16. A square minus b square. So 16 plus root x, 16 plus root x, the whole root of 16 plus root x square will be 16 plus root x, minus 4 into 4 is 16. So 16 gets cancelled, root x gets cancelled. This becomes x becomes 0. So root of 16 is 4. So 4 plus 4 is 8. Therefore a equal to 8. What is a? F of 0. F of 0 is limit x tends to 0 of f of x, as f is continuous. Since f is continuous, limit x tends to 0 of f of x, which means limit x tends to 0 plus of f of x and limit x tends to 0 minus of f of x. Both of them we have resolved to be 8, which means it has to be equal to value of the function at x equal to 0. F of 0 is a, therefore a is equal to 8. Now look at the third problem. So again you are given a continuous function and you are asked to find the values of p and q. And as you can see, the function is defined around pi by 2. So let us look at limit x tending to pi by 2 minus of f of x. This is your left hand limit. This will be limit x tending to pi by 2 minus 1 minus. See, if I put x directly, I'll get x pi by as pi by 2. I'll get 0 by 0. So 1 minus sine cube x, which I'm going to write it as 1 minus sine x into 1 plus. So the form a cube minus b cube. So a minus b into a square plus b square plus ab. Denominator will be 3 into 1 minus sin x into 1 plus sin x. Now 1 minus sin x gets cancelled. So what will be, this is simplified to, as x tends to pi by 2, the numerator becomes 3, the denominator already there is 1 3, and this will become 2. So this is half. Okay, so we can say actually p is half. But what about the right hand limit? Let us check the right hand limit. Now limit x tends to pi by 2 plus of f of x will be equal to, now since I have pi minus 2x the whole square in the denominator, as x tends to pi by 2 plus, I can write x as pi by 2 plus h. As x tends to pi by 2, h will tend to 0. So the whole thing can be written as limit h tends to 0 plus, okay, q into 1 minus sine of, now what is your x? X I have written as pi by 2 plus h. 1 minus sine of pi by 2 plus h divided by, what will be pi minus 2x? Pi minus 2 into pi by 2 plus h, the whole square. X is pi by 2 plus h. I replaced x by pi by 2 plus h. This will be limit h goes to 0. Now, sine 1 minus, sine in the second quadrant is will become what? 1 minus cos h divided by, what will happen here? Pi and pi will get cancelled, giving you, see this is pi minus 2 pi by 2 minus pi minus 2h the whole square. So I will get 4h square minus 2h the whole square, which is 4h square. I have just simplified the denominator into q. As a q here. Now this will be limit h goes to 0. 1 minus cos h is 2 sine square h by 2 by 4 I have. Because I have sine square h by 2, I need h square by 4 into 4. Now sine square h by 2 by h square by 4 will become 1 as h tends to 0. So I get 1 by 8. Q into 1 by 8. Now P is half. So Q into 1 by 8, which is Q by 8, is half. Therefore Q equal to 4. P is 1 by 2 and Q is equal to 4. See, limit h tends to 0, I have a Q here. 1 minus cos h, I have written it as 2 sine square h by 2. Since I have sine square h by 2, I have multiplied and divided by h square by 4 into 4. Okay. Now, this 2 goes into 4 2 times. So, I am left with 2 into 4, 8. But we have already know P is half. So, since the function is given to be continuous, okay, left hand limit is equal to right hand limit. So, Q by 8 is equal to half, which gives Q equal to 4. Now, let us look at the next problem. You have to show that f of x equal to modulus of x minus a by x minus a when x is not equal to a, and 1 when x equal to a is discontinuous. Let us recall the definition of modulus of x. Mod x is x when x is greater than or equal to 0. Is minus x if x is less than 0. By virtue of this definition, modulus of x minus a is x minus a if x minus a is greater than or equal to 0, So if x is greater than or equal to a is equal to minus a minus x, because you will get minus of x minus a, which is a minus x, if x is less than a. Now let us, you are given that when x is not to equal to a, f of x is modulus of x minus a by x minus a. Let me look at first left hand limit. Limit x tends to, see the function is defined around a. So I am going to look at limit x tends to a plus of f of x. This will be limit x tends to a plus of, that means what, x is approaching a through values greater than a. So x is greater than a. When x is greater than a, what is the value of modulus of x minus a by x minus a, which is 1. What will be the right hand limit? Right hand limit will be limit extending to, sorry, this was right hand limit because I had written a plus. Now let us look at left hand limit, that is limit extending to a minus of f of x. This will be limit extending to a minus of, that means x is approaching a through values lesser than a. So what will I get? That means when x is less than a, what is the definition of modulus of x minus a? A minus x. So a minus x by x minus a, which is minus 1. So left hand limit is not equal to right hand limit. Therefore, limit itself does not exist. Limit extends to a f of x does not exist. Therefore, f is not continuous. See, in fact, you can discuss this for mod x by x itself. See, in fact, if you look at, if I define f of x equal to mod x by x when x is not equal to 0 and 0 when x equal to 0, check if f is continuous. Mod x is x when x is greater than or equal to 0, equal to minus x if x is less than 0. So I am repeating similar type of problem because I want you to understand the notion of modulus of x, the definition of mod x, the graph which is v, which we have already seen. Okay, because modulus function is a very, very significant and important function in mathematics. So please understand the concept of modulus function. Now limit extending to 0 minus of f of x will be limit extending to 0 minus of. When I say 0 minus, x approaches 0 through values lesser than 0. So when x is less than 0, you have minus x. So minus x by x, which is minus 1. Limit x tends to 0 plus of f of x will be limit x tends to 0 plus. That means x is approaching 0 through values greater than 0. So mod x will be x by x, which is 1. So left hand limit is not equal to right hand limit. Therefore, limit of f of x at x equal to 0 does not exist. The function is discontinuous. I hope you understood the notion of continuity. So continuous graph does not have any gaps. So that is how you have to imagine. You also have to imagine how the continuous functions look like. And when you look at a formal definition, we have to prove that the limit exists and is equal to the value of the function at a particular point in order to claim that the function is continuous at that point. So if you have understood these two concepts in your mind, then it is very easy to solve problems. So looking forward to solving more problems with you, and until we meet next time, it is goodbye, and do not forget to share, subscribe to my YouTube channel Max with RP, and I hope I'm looking forward to more and more sessions of mathematics with all of you. Bye, goodbye.